chefs. Everything was over the top. But Emilie remembered walking around outside and seeing what looked like a million twinkly lights set out in the gardens. Like a fairy tale. While working at any event, the key was to stay out of sight and leave once their job was done. And she almost did. Her curiosity had gotten the better of her for the first time, and she had simply wanted to stay hidden and just watch and imagine what it would be like to attend an event like that as a guest and not the hired help. It would have been enough to just be a fly on the wall for a few minutes, but it was what had happened while standing in the shadows that was the best part of the night.
I hate these things, don't you?
Excuse me? The male voice took her by surprise, not only because she never heard or saw him approach, but because it was so close, practically against her ear. Coming to stand beside her, he motioned to the room while holding a glass of champagne.
Over-the-top weddings?
He said, as if it were obvious.
They're nothing but spectacles. I mean, why does anyone need to invite 500 of their closest friends and family to watch them cut a cake? It seems absurd.
Emilie didn't quite know how to respond. This man, this very attractive man, was obviously a guest of the wedding and had no idea she wasn't. It would be rude to simply walk away, so... Oh, I don't know. I think it can be interesting. He took a sip of his champagne.
Care to expand?
Tilting her head, she studied the crowd. Well, I happen to find it fascinating to people watch. He nodded.
That explains your position in the furthest corner of the room.
He leaned down and added,
The only thing missing is a large potted plant for you to be hiding behind.
That made her laugh. Well, I wouldn't say I was hiding. Beside her, he straightened once again to his full height, which was easily 6 feet.
Aren't you? I haven't seen you at any of the tables or out on the dance floor.
Okay, now it was getting awkward. With a casual shrug, she did her best to, well, avoid mentioning she was part of the staff. I'm not much of a dancer, she said instead, and it's too loud to enjoy talking to anyone at the tables. He nodded again.
I agree. Which brings me back to my original observation of how ridiculous these events are.
I thought you said they were spectacles, she commented, and felt herself smiling at her teasing tone. Lifting his glass to her, he smiled.
I stand corrected. Although spectacles tend to be ridiculous, so really, either phrase would fit.
Emilie nodded and forced herself to go back to looking around the room. They were at the point in the evening where there wasn't much for her to do. The couple had cut the cake, so technically her job was done. She was free to leave, but this was one of the biggest weddings she'd ever seen, and her curiosity had gotten the better of her. So while the rest of the Meet Me at the Altar staff was probably packing up and heading out to their cars, she had stayed behind to just observe.
So are you here for the bride or the groom?
He asked.
The groom is my cousin Felix.
He rolled his eyes.
Honestly, none of us ever thought he'd get married. Maybe that's why so many people showed up. Curiosity.
He took another sip of his champagne.
So are you here for Felix or Mary Beth?
Mary Beth. She quickly replied because it seemed the easiest way to explain her presence.
Well, that's certainly convenient.
Turning, she looked up at him. Why? His smile was downright lethal.
It would be incredibly awkward if I was standing here flirting with some long-lost cousin of mine. I mean, it would have been weird to find out you're my second cousin 3 times removed, right?
That made her laugh. That would definitely be awkward, she agreed.
Good. Then we're in the clear. Can I get you a drink?
It was tempting, but... No, but thank you.
Oh, come on. Think of how much more...